Okay, so welcome to Amibroker training, and this is actually part two of the session. So part one was done earlier, and what we did in part one was basically go through the help file of or the user's guide of Amibroker, and we've completed the first part of the um, section covering introduction, additions, quick tour, getting started, compatibility chart, and what's new. We are now moving on to tutorials, and that's where the real meat of the whole thing probably is in terms of getting hands-on and working with it. Okay,
Uh,
yeah. Sid,
yeah,
wanted to say something? Go ahead.
yeah, just wanted to say that as part of the last thing what we were talking about, every chart that you're actually seeing in Amibroker is actually backed by AFL code itself. So pretty much everything that you're seeing out there is actually AFL code that's running.
Okay,
So
okay.
even for a chart, I think there is a way to see what the code is behind the chart right
Mm-hmm.
there. So
Okay,
if you draw a line, it actually adds code in the background for drawing that line for the chart.
got it, got it. Okay, all right. And somewhere we can see that code?
Yeah, I think it's there. I mean, I don't have access to Amibroker right now, so
Sure.
I can't.
Okay, done.
I remember, yes, I thought that was something that was really, really powerful when I looked at charting in Amibroker versus Metastock, which
Oh,
essentially meant if you want to have formulas or automate, let's say, drawing lines, like
mm,
what you currently do, you always draw a line at the highest point in a chart and at the lowest point and things like that. You could
mm-hmm.
actually automate that whole process to just draw a line at the highest and the lowest point.
That
Why
would,
do you
right.
go
So
and
so
draw
this
a
green
line?
lines that I keep drawing for life highs could just automatically get done.
You could have that come there automatically. Yes.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. Just save a hell of a lot of trouble. Oh, okay. You just said the right thing at the right time to get me interested in AFL. Thank you. Okay, done. I mean, that's one constant thing I keep trying to figure out, zoom in, zoom out, and if you can just put that and it's done, then save a ton of time. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else, Sid?
No, I just remembered that I didn't remember it that time, so
All right,
I
sure.
thought I should.
Done. Okay, thank you. All right. So getting into that's a nice start to the tutorial anyhow. So thanks to Sid for that. So getting in, uh, some of the beginning part might be a little, dry, but let's just plod on. So basic operations, what I clicked, and it says adding a new symbol. So obviously for any stock that you're looking at, you need to have a symbol first, and you need to add that to your list, right? And it says in order to add a new symbol into a database, you can add a use symbol and then put new and add that, and then it'll create that symbol, right? Um, so one important thing, the maximum ticker length for the symbol should be 48 characters. This is more than enough. And yeah, all of the symbols that we are using are automatically created by the exchange, and they're well within 48 characters. And for proper import, it should be in capitals. So this is something to remember if and when you want to create your own custom lists. We were trying to do that. So Balki was trying to do that with the small cap stocks, and we had some challenges in how it was getting imported or not getting imported and all of that. So this is just something to remember, that when you do import whatever your database is, make sure it is in capitals. 48 characters I don't think is an issue. I really doubt we're going to go that long. Removing a symbol, in order to remove an existing symbol, you can use symbol remove. I'll come to that in a while. And after choosing this function, you will be asked for confirmation to yes or no. All right, it cannot be undone, and you can remove multiple symbols by using the assignment organizer. I've just clicked that, and then it takes us to, as you can see on the left pane of the window, it takes us somewhere deep down in that whole symbol database. So we won't go there right now, but just connecting the dots for now. We'll come back to this. You can also see something here which we mentioned in the earlier section about it shares some sort of assignments in markets, groups, industries, watch lists, all that stuff. So from here itself, I guess you can sort of group stuff and add, remove, and all. We'll come back to this. Then okay, so before moving on, so basically the symbols are the ones that will automatically get created, so don't worry about it. So you can see the symbols here that we have already got in touch put. So there's an FNO list and there's a Nifty list, and these are some watch lists, and the entire symbol list that we currently have using both the BSE NS and the NSE websites data comes here. Why is it slowed down a bit? All right. So this entire thing is in this place. All right. All the symbols are there, including the BSC ones, which stand with this funny character that our database provider right now does. So all this is there in one integrated place. This entire menu has that. We will come back to this, but you can also have the watch list here. So don't worry too much about this initial part about creating. It's all been created already. Splitting a stock when a corporate action happens, how to do it, and then they have a very nice feature here which our earlier tools did not, is you can say, you can put the formula like this became like this, or you can put the formula the other way also. It was there somewhere, or sorry, it's only this way. So it's very clear that what became what. Earlier it used to be, were you looking at the before or the after, and all that has been done away with. So in case you need to do any manual stuff, then it's great. One small thing here is you need to be clear about what the ratio is. If you are not and you mess up with this, then you will make a mess of that. So before punching this in earlier, for Metastock, for example, had this thing that you just had to click on the date when that happened, and it would automatically figure out what the ratio of the split was and then populate that, and you say yes, then it just goes ahead. In this, I don't think that auto detect feature is there in case you need to do a split or a corporate action change. So you need to be very, very clear about that, punching in that thing and then making a decision. Okay, deleting a quote. So a quote is not the symbol. So on a particular database, some quote is wrong, or you need to edit it and all. So again, I clicked that, it went to, on the left side, to invite your attention, it went to this part, the quote editor here on the left, right? So that is something we'll come back to later. Okay. So that's just so deleting symbol is separate, deleting a particular quote or adjusting it, maybe a freak trade happened, maybe there's a data bug or whatever, and you need to edit that data point, you can use the quote editor. Adding, removing symbols from the favorites. To add or remove the symbol from the favorite, you should check a favorite box in the information window. I will click that in a while. To remove it from favorites, simply uncheck that box. Alternatively, you can click on the tree with the right mouse button and say add to favorites and remove from favorites options, right? So information window is here. I'm not sure where the favorite comes here. What did it say? Okay. 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 Specify the symbol belongs to. Okay. So somewhere here. Okay, we'll come back to this because again, there's a whole discussion on the information window. So let's just get the overview at this time. I'm going to come back. Okay, one thing that caught my attention on the information window is there's a whole tutorial on using fundamental data. Okay, and that's something to just know. Uh, of course, assuming we have fundamental data, again, I'm guess we are going to be dependent on Yahoo or Google or whatever it is, that there's a tutorial there. So just to invite our attention to that. Then, so this is really nice, merging quotations of two symbols. I think we in India especially we keep seeing a lot of name changes and not to be very clear, a name change is different from, I know it's an obvious thing, from a merger and acquisition or a split, etc. So company like, so for example, Infi was Infosys, and just merge those two together, and then now you have continuous data. So this is really nice. It says happens sometimes that the ticker is changed from, the ticker symbol is changed, then you may get two tickers in your database, one holding the historical quotes and the second one holding the newer quotes after the name change. In order to put all quotes in a single ticker, you should use symbol merge feature. You should just select the new ticker after merge, after name change, and choose symbol merge. Then from the combo, you should choose the original ticker, merge with, and optionally check the following fields: overwrite duplicate quotes. Okay, so anything which has the new with where the old one is also there, so overwrite, delete, merge with backwards, so you can delete the old symbol if you want, better not to do that. And assign an alias name means checking this option will copy the old ticker to the alias field of the new ticker. I'm not sure exactly what the alias field is, we will figure that out, I guess, right? So where is symbol and symbol merge? All right, so let's go to this. So essentially this is the symbol key here, right? uh, Menu right on top. So new creates a new symbol. If you want to manually create it, like I said, you don't need to do that. uh, okay, having said that, I'm wondering how AMI code works. I guess there's a tutorial on that, whether you create new and from here you type in some symbol that Yahoo Finance recognizes and comes. I don't know, we'll just thought. Delete, split, merge, right? So merge is where you want to, destination is to merge with, right? Any of these things, and then so this is definitely useful. I would do definitely override the duplicate, and I would not want to, I don't know what alias name is, we'll figure that out later. Okay, so symbol is here and there is the merge. uh, like you can see from here itself, there is the information window, the quote editor, favorites, watch list. So you could, I guess, um, you know, do a lot of things from this window. I'm just look at information. So it opened that information thing here. Okay, and you can see that basically we don't have any information on Maruti, right? So Malayas, address, country, web ID, uh, none of this, P ratio, financials, PG. All right, so one thing to note on financials, doesn't seem to have the historical data, just the latest data, which is at least okay, something, but really until and unless you've got it in time, then there's really nothing much that we can do. So limited utility in terms of this, but better than nothing, right? Okay, at least you can see something like, let's say, the PE ratio, the PEG ratio, or even the forward EPS if there is a projection out there, and decide, I mean, is this ridiculously expensive or not? And maybe it's a filter that you and I look at. I don't know. Okay. The other thing that we could do from the symbol thing, favorites, add selected or erase. You can do it to watch lists. And we'll come to watch this later, but just to let you know, you can import, export, and we've already sent out some files with predefined watch list. This is something that Balki created for Nifty, for the FNO, and he sent out a file yesterday for the small cap indices. So those watch lists can be imported. So the idea is don't have to each one of us putting in each effort repeatedly. Don't do that. We'll create this watch list in a centralized place. They're mailed to everybody on the group. Just import it, and your favorite sorry, your watch list here gets created automatically, right? And then categories, I'm not sure what this is. Overall, this is the market, groups, sectors, industries, and watch list. So I guess if we want to, then we could, I don't know what relative strength is. Oh, okay, I'm not sure about all this. Okay, but what I'm getting from this is that we could create our own industry classification, sector classification if it is not there, and then over time build it up. I'm not sure whether that can be exported. I hope that can be, but if it can, then great. We just split the work, do it, share it. If not, then it's going to be a pain. Okay, organize assignments. I'm not sure what that means. Oh yeah, this is what we were talking about earlier. There'll be an explanatory note on that. I think we'll come back to this. So I was just exploring the symbol tab and what are all the things under it. Okay, composites, calculate number of advancing declines. Okay, all markets, so we don't have that right now. So yes, there is a tool for calculating some composites. And so why does it say recalculate? Okay, composites recalculation tool. uh, Again, I guess we'll come back to this later. Okay, so just to get a sense of what all is possible, so that is the symbols and merging. This is what I found very useful, the merging part and the splitting part, and these are the two things that we'll probably be using at maybe a few times, a couple of times in the year. Okay. Okay, next, coming to the user interface. So we are moving on along the tutorial, and we will start with the charting guide in this. So all right, says beginners charting guide. Cool. So I guess we are starting right from the basics here. And what we have is okay, let me read. Amibroker charting engine allows object-oriented manipulation of all drawings. You simply move, resize, cut, copy, paste, and delete all drawing objects with ease. This chapter will guide you through most important aspects of using the charting tools. Okay, let's look at the interface. So you have the chart title. Okay, right, let me get that. Right, so we have the chart title here. It tells us what stock, open, high, low, close, etc. Then you have the color palette. You want a thick line, thin line, then dotted line, snap to price, and then drawing options. So all your drawing toolbars are there. And then, okay, and then we have our lines, which is
So what is snap to price?
I'm not 100% sure. I think it's when you put a comment or a line on an object, you want to link it to that particular date. But we will come to that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because then when you zoom in and zoom out, it doesn't. So if you notice, when you zoom in and zoom out, if something is just floating, it comes in sort
Hmm.
of different moves also with the zoom in, zoom out. It doesn't stick
Okay.
to a particular place where you want it to, but snap means it sticks to that. So even when you zoom in and zoom out, it does not relatively move away from where it was.
Okay.
That's what I understand. We'll look at the details. Okay, all right. uh, then Okay, then bottom we have, so this is something which is extremely useful, chart sheets. We'll see how you can have different studies for the same stock on different chart sheets. They call it the sheet. I used to call it the pane. then date time access, symbol lock, and interval, uh, symbol lock, symbol link, interval link. So not sure what is this. What I did when I showed you earlier was the symbol link feature that I'd use when I discussed monthly, weekly, and daily. Symbol lock, not sure. Interval link, then scroll bar, of course, and the y-axis area. So this is your broad layout of the chart. And just to clarify, when we are saying broad layout of the chart, please note on this picture that on the left you got this information symbols all in a tab here, right? They've all been collapsed. So there is a way to do that. Just quickly, so one is you can just hide everything. There is a unpin button right on top. I hope you can see it. The cursor will be small and it'll all disappear. So I have unpinned and you can see that it's all gone to the left basically. And I hope it's updated on your side of the screen. Yeah, right. And if I just hover my mouse over these things, then all these things come up. So that's a nice way of saving screen space and having more screen space for the chart itself, right? And if I move my cursor away, I'm not clicking anything, I've got the full screen now. Of course, if you want the thing, then you just need to pin it, and that way it's a little easier. So for example, when you pin it, then you can see your symbols very clearly. And let me make it larger here, just dragging this up, then very easy to just click whichever you want, and bingo. And something which we could not do in what we were using earlier. So this is really nice to have, right? So depend on how you want. So if you've got a large resolution screen, a larger 24-inch screen or 22-inch screen, then, or one of those, if you've seen those LG wide inch 21.21 to 9 aspect monitors, really cool for charting something like this, right? Thinking of getting one for myself. Let's see. Yeah, so however you want to prefer using it. So let me just put that back, and where is that symbols is what I wanted. Yeah, okay. So that's the chart pane. So it says here, as you can see in the center, we have the chart area in which the price chart with moving average and Bollinger band is plotted. You can control the appearance of the built-in chart with tools and preferences. We'll do that later. Okay, but you get this sort of standard format when you open a chart, which is something that they have just built in, one moving average plus Bollinger band on chart. So if you can see that visualized right at the back, I hope you can. Uh, you can see the moving average line here. I don't know why this comes up. I will learn. And then you have the Bollinger band. It's just one standard default that they have. You can completely remove it, change it to whatever you like. Okay. In the bottom of the chart, you can see date axis marked with red color, and below scroll bar and chart sheets control tab. This is what he's talking about. This chart sheets control tab here. Just have to click, right? Scroll bar can be used to display past votes, while sheet tab allows you to view different chart pages, sheets, and click here to learn more about chart sheets. So where do we go when that happens? Okay, it'll come there, fourth section. So we'll go back and then continue. To the right, you can see the y-axis area marked in the blue color. This is what he's talking about. Okay. Uh, Y scale, value labels. By the way, I mean, if anybody at some point is getting bored on this, one of the easiest things with any of the softwares nowadays, you go anywhere and just do a right click. Something will open up. That's another way to explore what you can't do. Go and hover your mouse anywhere and just click right click. Some set of menus will open up. Then you have to, of course, know what all these things do. And that's the purpose of going through the user guide. Okay. Um, to the right, so y-axis, value labels are color fields that display precisely the last value of plots. Last value is the value of the indicator or price for the last currently displayed or rightmost bar. Y-axis is used also to move size or move or resize the chart vertically. Okay. So he's talking about these numbers, like for example 915 appearing here. I think there's a feature where you can make all the indicator values also appear on the y-axis chart, and if you want to do that, then on the right side not only will you see the last price as you're seeing right now here, but you will also see the indicator values, like for example what the moving average here is and all that overlaid. Okay. Next to the right is a drawing tool object, so drawing objects toolbar that allows you to look at various uh, tools. Note that only the most popular tools are shown here. Complete list is available in the insert menu. Right, so that is something to remember. So he's talking about this on the right, extreme right. I hope you can see the cursor changing. All these lines, but parallel, rectangle, symbol, zoom in, zoom out, daily, periodicity, and all. We'll explore this later. But this is not the full list, as they are saying. The full list is in the insert thing here. Okay. So you go to insert on top and you've got all that, and then on Fibonacci you've got some more, on GAN you've got some more, and then you can also put some buy and sell order from this place. Okay. So the more comprehensive thing is from the this insert thing, not so much from the toolbar, but 99% of the time you'll never need to look at this. This toolbar on the extreme right is more than enough. Okay. Okay, in the upper part it says you can see the formatting toolbar allows you to quickly modify color, style, mode, snap to price, as you were saying. We'll figure that out, of currently selected drawing object. In the picture you can also see that the trend line drawn with the sizing handle marked. These handles are used to drag, etc. So that's he's talking about this thing right on top. Okay, this particular menu. The only thing that I would love to see maybe down in the user is this palette. I find it little irritating that every time I want to change the color I have to go click this and then choose the color. If that palette had just been another toolbar here, that would really be nice and cool to have. Just click the color and I'm done, instead of having to always open this again and again. I use a lot of color, so that's why. Then basic operations. Okay, scrolling. So to scroll the chart forward, backward, just drag scroll bar thumb or use the left arrow and the right arrow on your keyboard. Okay, on the left hand side of the scroll bar. So you can just look at your keyboard just in case. So this is not on the screen. Your left arrow, right arrow, and the chart will move. Note that using the left and the right arrow scroll bar uh, arrows allows you to move chart by one bar. Right, this is really neat. I'll come to that. To scroll the chart, you can also use the mouse equipped with the wheel. Just scroll the wheel to and zoom up and sorry, scroll up and down, right, back and forward, sorry. So let's just do some scrolling. So one way to scroll in a chart is take the tab at the bottom. So I hope you're with me. I don't know if I can change this color of the spotlight, not sure. Right at the bottom you can see this bar here on the right, and what you can do is just take that and scroll left to right. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. I'm just holding this bar on the bottom and scrolling it so it moves. The other way, as it says, is I am using the left and right key, and I want you to notice one thing, right? I have no vertical indicator line on the screen right now. I am hitting the left key on my keyboard, and what you will see is a vertical line has appeared on yesterday's bar, and then as I click left, it goes one bar at a time. What's very nice, you know exactly where you're looking and what you're looking at, and there's no confusion on this. One more very neat nifty feature, don't know if you noticed, if you look right at the bottom of this bar and all, you can see the volume stick at the bottom is inside this bar, and that volume stick color is green now, and it stays green. And if I move it to the right, you can see that the volume stick color stays in this red. Okay? So it's not overlapping it, it's actually sort of engulfing it, and that's really really nice, because in most other things this whole vertical bar line, that reference bar you're saying, just changes the color of the whole vertical thing, and you don't know the volume is what color and how high the volume is. Most importantly, it just becomes one vertical line. Here you can see inside that the volume is actually low on this. Okay? So very paid attention to a lot of small things, which is great. And if I scroll and I'm using the left key on the keyboard, and if I do that, it just goes to the past, as you can see, which is very nice, by the way. So I'm now doing the right key and it's coming into the future, as you can see. What's very nice about this is you can go one by one, and it's a very very effective learning tool. So if I go right to the edge of what is there, so I'm right now at the right edge, and I click once, then the next day appears. I click one more time and the next day appears. I'm clicking the right click keyboard key, okay, the right keyboard key. You can see that just one day, one thing at a time, so one candle at a time, whether it's intraday, daily, weekly and all. That is how this whole thing is appearing, which is a very nice education tool, a very nice practice tool for you to think about, what would I do if this happened, what would I do if that happened, put your support line, resistance lines, and see. So very very cool to have this. uh, so that's on this scrolling side. Then you can zoom, okay, zooming in and out. To zoom the chart, increase or decrease the number of data points displayed, you can go to view zoom menu, right, or use the zoom toolbar or mouse wheel. You can also zoom by dragging the left or right edge of the scroll bar. Okay, I didn't know that. There are the following options available: zoom in, decrease the number of data points; zoom out, increases the data points; zoom all, displaces all available bars; zoom normal, resets the number of bars displayed in the value definition in your preferences. Right, so now how do we do that? So we've got zoom in, zoom out, zoom normal to your reset, and zoom all, right, which is there. So zoom in, uh, zoom out, zoom all, and your reset. So there are four. Zoom in and zoom out options are accessible directly from the view toolbar. See picture below, right? So this is the zoom in and zoom out, as you can see here. That's easy to understand. To zoom using mouse wheel, just press and hold down control and roll the wheel. Okay, I didn't know this. You can also zoom to any from to range selected on the chart. See marking range later in the tutorial. Okay, we will do this later. And then okay, this is the y-axis. All right, but before that I want to look at how do we get zoom all, because that's like a reset, if we can do the zoom all. So what did it say? Dragging the left or right edge of the scroll bar. Okay, so I have gone to the scroll bar, and wonderful. All right. What I'm doing, if you can pay attention right to the bottom of the scroll bar, forget the chart, I've just selected the left edge and I'm dragging it, and as I move this, it zooms in and zooms out, which is really nice And on the webinar, it might be a little delayed with a lag, but if you do this live, you'll see that it's extremely smooth. The resizing, the rescaling, and all. I really like this. And then we can have this moved in the center. I'm just focus on the scroll bar, don't look at the chart. And you can do that with the right edge also, and just get what you want from a fixed left side. So you can take it to where you want and move it left and right. Now it said zoom all. So it says scroll here. I'm clicking scroll here, it's doing that. Okay, left edge. Okay, so if you click left edge, it goes to the left edge of the chart. It goes to the first data point you have. If you click right edge, it comes to the latest data point you have. Okay, left edge and right edge does that. So left edge takes you to the leftmost, the earliest data point you have. Right edge takes you to the latest data point you have. Then page left, what did it do? Okay, so it has divided this chart into sections, and then just going in the sections. So you can go section by section. So if you wanted to say sort of look at this in say only 1 year time frame, okay, or 2 year time frame, and then you do left, you'll get the next 2 years, next 2 years, next 2 years. Not really sure how useful this thing is, but well, it's there. Okay, and then right click, and then you have scroll left. That takes it bit by bit, but irritating. You might as well just use the mouse and do that. But I have not figured out where is zoom all. How do I just get zoom all? Okay, one second. Okay, so one more feature for zooming. So we saw this buttons left on the menu bar, zoom in, zoom out, these buttons plus minus green and yellow. We saw the one with the scroll bar right at the bottom and moving that, and you can move only the edges if you want. And the other one is you can use the mouse. So I'm now just using the mouse wheel, and I'm moving it down, left, top, up and down, and you can see that the whole chart moves. So now in this, what I'm doing, if you notice, the chart is moving left to right, but the left edge and the right edge is not fixed. Okay, the left edge and the right edge is not fixed, it's moving just left to right. So you're doing section by section. It's the same thing like taking the scroll bar here and taking right and left. So you can instead just move the scroll wheel of your mouse, and it'll move left to right. The other thing you can do, I'm just going back to the right, is press control and zoom in, and when use your mouse. Now if you press control and move your scroll wheel of your mouse, then it zooms in and zooms out, right? So that is important to note. So if you're using your scroll wheel, if you press control and do it, it behaves differently. If you don't press control and do it, it's just scrolling left and right. So three methods. You've got these buttons, you've got the scroll bar at the bottom, and you can use your mouse wheel to go left, right, or to zoom in and out using the control scroll and the mouse feature, the mouse wheel. Okay, but I've still not figured out this zoom all. It's driving me crazy. Hold on. All right, so dumb fellow that I am, I didn't notice that there is a view tab that is there on the thing, on the menu. And if you look at the view tab, you've got a zoom. Sorry, went off. You've got a zoom menu, sub menu, and in that you can control whatever you want. So what I've done is I was just talking to Prashant, very helpful as usual. and I just created a shortcut on his recommendation. And so because you do not have a keyboard, sort of a button for this, for the zoom all, right? And what I've done is, you can, so there, the zoom all options are the following. You can go to view, you can go to zoom, and from view zoom you say just click all, it'll give you the entire chart. Okay, the other option is to create a shortcut, right? And to that you go to tools, you go to customize, so you go to tools, let it come up on your side, click customize, and then on customize you've got keyboard, right? Click keyboard. In keyboard you can now customize anything and everything that you want, every function. So in case you're interested, just to know what all Amibroker can do, you can see, go to each of this. So under keyboard you have all these categories and all. I think a quick way, effective way to figure out what all Amibroker can do is just sit and say new database, new default chart, new blank chart, blah 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 blah. Anyhow, you can do this later, but go to go to, where is that, view, here, right? Go to view, click that, and you've got all these things in view, right? And in that, if you come right down, you've got zoom in, zoom all, zoom out, all that in out, you've got zoom all, and I created, and then you can go and press new shortcut key. I just put control A, alt C, alt A for myself. I should, whatever you want, you can, and I said then click assign, click close, and you're done, right? Then you have a shortcut key for that. So now I'm close this, and if I'm going to press alt A, I did alt A. ah, Shit, what is this? Oh, okay, I have to be there. Why does this not work? It just now was working. Alt does that. Okay, I can't. Okay, don't use alt A because alt starts to activate the menu bar, so can't do that, so it doesn't work. I'll go back to Windows, sorry, tools, customize, keyboard, view, come to zoom all, and instead of doing alt A, I'm going to remove that. We'll just do control A, click assign, click close. Okay, so if I do control A, there you have it. Okay, I just press control A and it gave me zoom all. Okay, let me just try this on something else. Okay, control A, yeah, this is really nice, right? So like I said, you can look at the view from zoom and do all from here, or you can just to do control A. In my case, that's what I've done. You can select whatever you like and use it. Don't use alt because I didn't know this. Like I said, I'm not a geek. It alt enables all this menus of the menu features, right? So since T is there, it goes to A is there, it goes to analysis. Cool. So are we clear about the zoom function, everyone? Any questions on that? Okay. Cool. That's done. Coming back to the basic operation zooming. Yeah, so we finished that, figured out the whole thing, and then okay, let's move on to other stuff. Changing bar interval periodicity. This is something which is very nice that you can do very quickly, just from that daily, weekly menu or monthly thing. And if you have intraday data, okay, So in my case, since the Amibroker knows that this is not uh, intraday data, I and H are hourly, and I is for intraday is disabled. But if you were looking at, say, integrating with IB and all, then it would know that, and it would just pick this up and put it together. So which would be just super. Okay, so that is the zooming thing, and then periodicity. And then if you have inbuilt intraday, then you can do 15-minute, 5-minute, 5-second, all that. And you can also custom n-minute charts if you like. Then selecting a quote is all about, you can very easily see the past quotes and values of indicators by using select mode. Okay, past quote and values of by using select mode to select past quote. First switch to select mode, red arrow in the toolbar, then click the chart area but not on the drawing object. A vertical line will show up marking the quote under the cursor. The chart title will display this bar quote. Indicator panel panes will show indicator value for given bar. Once quote is selected, you can move to previous next quote. Okay, and get that, and you can do that with the right left keyboard keys. To switch off quote selection, either click again on the line or click in the date on the data axis area marked with red color in the picture above, or click in the right margin blank quote. Okay, when selection is off, chart title displays the last visible bar. Okay, so switch to select mode. That is, which is the select mode? Okay, range markers. So this is the red arrow here, right on top. It should be here. Yes, so you can see this red arrow right on the top right. I hope you can see it. So that is the select mode. If that is used, then this vertical bar appears. That's what I've understood. Okay, and you can move it wherever you click. So when you do that, and then let's say this particular, let me zoom in, particular, let's say I'll use this now. This green candle has been selected, and the values of those green candles will appear here on the top. So open, high, low, close, volume, MA, BB, whatever indicators you have, all that is going to appear on this side. So you can move that. Now if you don't want that, just click that. First remove this, click it, and yeah, what is this now? Right, so it's not in select mode. So you are in a just a toolbar mode. So if I'm there and I'm putting that or whatever it is, yeah, okay, it automatically goes back to select mode. How do I disable it? Uh, okay, all right, fine, leave it. So by being in this mode, what we need to know is the bar wherever it is, and you can move this with your right left keyboard key. You will get this data in the data for that day. Open, high, low, close will appear on the top bar here, right up there. Okay. All right, moving down. Okay, selecting a quote, then we are looking at marking a range. And how do you mark a range? To show range marker, just double click the chart at the beginning of the range and double click again at the end of the range. You can also use F12 key in conjunction with the select mode described above. Just select quote and press F12 for beginning and shift F12 for the end of the range. You can switch off the range marker by pressing Ctrl F12 key or double clicking in the same area twice. Range markers can be used to select zoom in range, view zoom range, and to perform calculations on selected values via begin value and end value and AFL functions. So going back, oh, come on, why is it not moving? Right, so I have to, all right, so what you need to do is click anywhere once with the select mode, this arrow on, and if you click it again once, it will move, as you can see. So I'm just clicking the left key of the mouse. Now if I click it twice, the color actually has changed, right? And it will stay in one place. Then I click somewhere else and I, right, so there. So I now have this range which has been selected. So if you want to, let's say, just focus within a certain view or whatever, then this is what it does. I'm guessing there are some other things you can do with this, but I'm not 100% sure what that is right now, right? Okay, oh, this is nice. So I clicked again. So the green vertical bar and the red vertical bar stayed for a reference. If I click and if I just, how do I remove this now? Okay, so if you just keep clicking it, then it goes away. So play around with the select mode and double clicking lines, and you can get these ranges that you put in. And if you triple click, finally triple click, then all of your lines that you have put will move away. I'm not sure exactly what the function of this is at this point, but I'm sure there is something to it that I'm missing. Right, so that is selecting a range. As far as I can use see the utility now, it's like while explaining something for a class online during a chart, during the IMR India market review or whatever, this would be nice to get the focus into that zone. Okay, so triple clicking to take out everything, and that is marking a range. Then adding closing chart panes. Okay, each window can consist of several panes displaying various charts and indicators. Okay, so again to note, each window can have several panes displaying various charts and indicators. To display a new indicator in a separate chart pane, just find the indicator in the chart list, use Windows charts menu and double click on the indicator name. For more information, see drag dropping tutorial. We will do that later. To close any chart pane, click on the pane and then say view pane and close. Okay, so this is something useful to know. Uh, this is, now I just want to see if nope, nope, not this. All right, so symbols, right? Not symbols, sorry. Charts. What did we want? It said indicator in the charts list. So if you want any new indicators, that is in the charts list here. Okay, so on the left side, I had hidden it off. This is the chart list. Let's say this is the indicator we want MACD. I'm just double clicking it. That's what it said. And oh, this is nice. So Madhu, if you remember, we were trying to different thing and all. The other way is to just double click anything that you find. So let's say ROC, take the indicator, double click, and where did it appear? Yeah, so one more came, RSI, one more came. And just adding those indicators as we go along, right? Very nice feature to
Okay,
have,
cool, cool.
right? Yeah, very cool. And so instead of struggling all that roundabout thing, so this is very nice. The other thing to know at this point on the pane thing is you can arrange these charts in any way that you like. I'm clicking this, what's happening? Nothing is happening. Okay, you don't know what. Okay, so for example, I want to I'm just right clicking this, and I am saying pane, and I'm saying arrange or move up or move down or whatever. So if, for example, I want to just move this down, then you can, arrange it whichever way you like. And if I want to, let's say, make this small, I've just dragged that horizontal bar down and the volume is there. And then I've got ROC, RSI, and MACD in the middle. Doesn't really make sense because you're sort of mixing different types. So I will move, say, MACD down, and it goes down. So you can do that, and then you can add. Now coming back to this sheet business on the bottom, sheet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we could add, like I was saying, have multiple different studies for everything and just go sheet wise, and you can get, say, a set of lagging indicators, leading indicators, volume indicators, mixed indicators, whatever you prefer. So this was nice, just to click one particular uh, uh, one, and it just appears immediately there with the default settings. And then you can go and change the default settings or whatever as and when you like it, right? Okay, so this is very nice. And then adding and closing. So closing is just right click and close it. There's also a drag drop method. We'll figure that out later. And then it says linking and locking charts. I think this is what Madhu was referring to. Let's see what this is. Multiple chart windows that were open using file new default or file new blank chart can be interval linked, symbol linked using appropriate small S and I buttons that appear on the left side of the scroll bar. When you click on a button, the menu showing colors will pop up. Select one color from two or more charts, and symbol linked using same color will be linked. Okay. Linking in time or interval, symbol or interval. Linking means that the change of the symbol and or the interval in any one linked will automatically change symbol or intervals in all linked and same color. So this is something that we already did in the introductory session earlier, so I'm not going to, okay, we'll go back and actually do that. You can also prevent symbol from being changed for any given chart. Okay, so this is something we had not seen. You can prevent symbol from being changed for a given chart. It can be done by turning on a little padlock called symbol lock on the right side. When chart is symbol locked, it will not allow to change the symbol selected unless the lock is released, right? Okay, so that is really nice. Let's go there and play with this. uh, so essentially, let's say I wanted a nifty chart here, and I never want this to change, and I want this always to be a nifty chart. Here is, so let me remove this first. Here is the symbol. I hope you can see it. It's really small. At the bottom there's a padlock. There I'm opening and closing it. I've now closed it. Now if I want to go change it, it should not change, right? No, it doesn't change. So even though this thing changes here, you can do whatever you want, right? It'll say that the new stock is apparently there, but the chart, as you can see, does not change. If you want to change it, then you can click that, and the symbol lock is, the padlock is now open, and you can now change it. So this is super. The other thing was about, if you remember, the symbol lock that we demonstrated earlier. So I'm just putting that, and what that basically does, so it's also color coded, and uh, is that it's not only color coded, but it's also number coded. And if so, what I've done is I wanted monthly, weekly, and daily. And what I had done is opened up all those charts, if you remember. So this is the daily NSE. Here is the monthly NSE. Okay, and if you remember, the symbol link has been done on link 5 with that purple color. And there was uh, okay, another NSE here, which is also daily. Now if I were to just go to window, then say tile vertically, I've got these three which I was focusing on, and all the three you can see have this purple 5 symbol link activated on all. And what I wanted to do was put monthly on the leftmost. I'm clicking M on the right side scroll bar here. I'm clicking W on the weekly scroll bar here, and this stays as a daily chart, and you can zoom in and have that. And then after this symbol link has been done, if I now change that to something else, let us say LT, LNT, now all three will change to LNT. This is because symbol linking has been done. There is also interval linking that he's saying. So let's play around with that. And if we do, so let me, yeah, so let this be there. They're independent of each other. Symbol link, and let's take a different color. Let's see how that works. And this two, as I've only interval linked to the left two charts, not the rightmost chart. And if I change the periodicity of this, then the periodicity of both should change. Let's say weekly, both have become weekly, as you can see, right? I hope it's refreshed on your side, and just give it a moment, right? And if I then click yeah, daily, both have become daily. Now what you should notice is that they are zoomed differently, right? They are zoomed differently, but when they, suppose I do monthly, all of the two become monthly, then they have become, you know, weekly, and then they have become daily, right? But since they are zoomed differently, so the leftmost chart has 5 years of data, the middle chart has 5 months of data, right? Now why I'm pointing this out is, you know, ways of using this effectively, which is, you could just have two charts. So let me even remove this, and let's say we just do vertical again. Okay, and what you can do now is zoom the two differently in the same thing. Both are daily or both are weekly, but then you have the long-term picture when you zoom out, like in the left side, and you have the zoomed in near-term picture. So again, if I do monthly, this is monthly, but monthly over 7-10 years, and the right one is actually only some 6 years. It's not so great. If I do weekly, you will see the difference. So when I do weekly chart, it is from 2005 to 2015, 10 years of chart, but on the weekly chart it's only from July of last year to now. So essentially you are now looking on the right chart only this part of the left chart, right? I hope you're with me. You're looking on the right chart only the left, on this small part of the left chart. So you can very clearly see now, for example, on the left chart, that this horizontal line is a multi-year, 10-year, 15-year, very, very important support line, and that is where LNT has actually broken down. All right, it's gone up, created a new life high, but has come down and come to a multi-year, 10-year support, and actually broken down on pretty high volumes as far as the near term is concerned, which is a little difficult to see as far as the left side chart is concerned. And then if we zoom in, right, each will, you're not, remember, you're not zooming in, oh, this is completely surprised. I didn't expect this. You're zooming in not from when you zoom in, you zoom in only one chart at a time. You don't zoom in, you know, all of them, right? So you're zooming. So what I did, and what I was surprised by, is I'd done this marking on the left chart using the eclipse button here, just to point out. And when I came to the right chart and I clicked, and the same zone has been marked here at the same time, which is really neat. You know, you now know the small micro picture and, or the macro picture zoomed in on the left, and the micro picture zoomed in on the right, right? Let me try that again and see how that works. If I remove the thing here, does it move out? I'm deleting it. And if I come here, yes, in both places it has gone, right? I find this irritating. How do I remove this? Okay, now let me put maybe a something here, and let's see how that works. So I put that there. I've released the mouse. That's it. And then I have to click the left thing, and there it comes. Okay. the same eclipse have come on the left side. This is really neat. So you can quickly look at various parts, zoom in, zoom out, and just stay with the charts. Fantastic. I mean, this is a unexpected find, but a very happy find, right? Okay. You'll also notice, by the way, this vertical bar which is there. If you put it in, it'll come on both sides as long as it's in the same time frame. If I like put it on the leftmost here, then the right chart doesn't go all the way back there. Obviously, it won't come, right? So really opens your imagination, this symbol linking and interval linking in terms of what we can do. And I think that's something that we should really play around with. It's something, this is exactly the sort of stuff I wanted to, get and learn before we restart the IMR thing, so that we can really do a better job in the IMRs going forward. All right. So that was about linking and locking a chart. Then we
Musa, one
have,
question.
yeah. Hi, Balki.
If you if you put a trend line on a daily chart, it won't come on weekly, right? It will come only on that periodicity chart only.
So that is different. Now, in this case, both are weekly charts. So I think if I
Yes.
put a trend line here, for example, it should come in both places. Let me just use a different color. Right now, I click on the, yes. See, you can see the trend line has come in both places.
Yeah.
Right? But let's say I change the left chart to daily. Now both will change to daily. So I have to remove the
Yeah.
symbol interval link.
Interval
Then it
link.
will not come. So let me remove that. No interval link. No interval link. And let's say we just zoom in a bit. Now, since both are daily, actually in this case, I think it should appear, but zoom differently, right? So let me
Hmm.
zoom it differently. And let me put a line, let us say, just put a horizontal line first, and I put here, and okay, it should come, I should put it earlier. Okay, I put it there at 1700. It should come on the right side also. Yes, but it doesn't come automatically. You have to click on the other side,
Hmm.
you know? And if I put a vertical line, let's say here, right, I've clicked it, but I've not clicked the left chart right now. And if I click the left chart, the vertical line should appear. It does. So this works. Now both are daily, but if one becomes the left one, let's say we make it weekly, right? And then we put a line, just for, let's say we put a line here, and I put a downtrend line here. You should get a small trend line on that also, but it doesn't come on the weekly chart.
Hmm.
So this has to do with that layers concept, I think, which we'll figure out, because this is something I find both good and bad. Because uh, good because we can go back to having that double chart where one is, say, weekly, one is daily, or that triple chart where you have monthly, weekly, and daily, right? In that case, you can do your chart, you can do your line studies and trend studies on one particular time frame, and it will not disturb the other one, which is the nice part. But the other way is, if you're going to be using only daily, then you don't know where the weekly levels are, and one is line is here, one is not there. That's the sort of, so they're both, I think, pros and cons to this depending on the user. And maybe there is some facility somewhere where you can do a setting where if I put something on the daily, it also shows up on the weekly or something. We'll have to figure that out. But as long as it is selectable, that somebody wants that, you can have it. Somebody doesn't want that, don't have it. I think that would be great, right? Yeah. So coming to drawing tools now, right? So coming to drawing tools, we've got an extensive set of drawing tools. I'm not going to go into each one of them. You can, you know, explore. And then to draw an object, you know, just click that drawing tool, obviously, and start drawing on the chart by pointing the mouse and pressing the left mouse button where you want the where where, where you want the to start the drawing. Then move the mouse, study tracking line will appear, a tracking line will appear, release left mouse button, when you want to finish drawing. You can also cancel study by pressing the escape key. Okay. All right. Also, if you hover your mouse over the object, you will see that the cursor shape changes in the proximity. This means that if the cursor is near either end of the object, it will change for the sizing pointer, right? So change the size. I know this English is a little different. If the cursor is near remaining part of the object, it will move to a plus a cross thing to move it. Once object is drawn, it can be selected, moved, resized, deleted, copied. Okay, this is that the thing about how I do my trend lines. Just copy and keep pasting instead of keeping using the thing, the button to keep drawing new ones. I just find that not trend lines, the support resistance lines, right? Okay. So I think all this is self-explanatory. The selection, deselect, size, move. If there are any questions, then we can explore. Then to delete.
Musa, when I drag it, if I have a trend line and I drag the end, it should move, right? It doesn't move properly.
Okay, so let's just put one chart. So we have a trend line here, downtrend line.
Yes.
On the daily chart, yes. And you're taking the one end, you're saying, right?
Yes, yes.
And then like I'm dragging it.
See, for you it is moving freely. For me, it is not moving as I move it. It comes somewhere else. The cursor is in one place and the end of the line is somewhere else.
Okay, I'm not sure if that's a bug or something else. No idea. You're not getting this plus cursor, right? You're not getting the.
No, plus cursor is if you are in the middle, not at the end.
Yeah,
but,
and it moves the
so
whole
you should
thing.
move when you get the.
Yeah, you move the two arrow head, right? That's what you're talking about.
Yes. Yes.
No idea. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe maybe you can just look at reinstalling it and see.
Yeah, I'll check. Okay, I think it comes sometimes. It comes many times, but sometimes it doesn't come. So I don't know what is that.
Okay, so there must be some issue, I'm assuming, right? Okay. Any other issues you're facing?
No, this issue I faced just now, so that's why I remembered. Whereas it used to work earlier. So.
Okay, done. Then it says to apply color or style to the object, select it in the format menu or format toolbar to change color, thick, dotted, snap to price. What snap to price? I'm still not sure. Note that you can also select color and style before drawing the new object. Simply deselect previous object if any, change color, style, and then okay. To modify properties, edit properties. Okay, you can delete all objects by doing edit, delete all. Let's go to edit. Okay, so if I delete, say all delete, then all the stuff that is here will go away. I don't want to do that. There is delete. What is delete quotation, delete session? I don't know. And then there is okay, he said edit, and he said edit properties, no? What is that? To modify properties. Okay, I think I have to select something first. All right, edit. Properties now got enabled. If there's nothing selected, then property is disabled. Right. So if you click that, then you say edit properties. But properties is all these things. And here that thing about layers comes in. When I think we'll discuss this when at that time whenever it comes. I'll just cancel that. Right. And there's something about lock position. I'm not sure about that. Where is that lock symbol? Yeah. Okay. So that one sec. Let me check up on this lock stuff. So we were discussing what snap to price is, and thanks to Balki, so we have sort of figured it out. So if you snap to price is this tool here that you can use if you want. You may not use it if you don't want. I'm not using it right now to just illustrate something. So I'm just going to remove some noise, take a trend line, put a trend line, and I'm putting the trend line here as and how I please. So I can leave it wherever I want. Sorry, the snap to price is on. I don't want it on, right? Okay. So if I take a trend line and if I want to, just leave it there, it'll stay wherever I want it to stay. The trend line, it's really my line. The software is not making any judgments on where it should, which candle it should track that to, or I can move the top of that trend line also. So it can really literally be anywhere you want. Now, instead of this, if you use snap to price, okay, right on top, that's the feature there, and activate it, and then say I want to do a trend line, then what the software is doing is trying and figuring out what is the closest price available below the cursor, vertically below wherever your cursor is. So if you can see, as I'm just moving my cursor right, it is, if I let me go here and I just move my cursor right, you can see that the edge of that line, if you can see, is catching the tops of the candles. you know I'm only moving my cursor left right. I'm not moving my cursor up down. It is automatically catching the tops of the candles. Now if I move my cursor down and then move my candle left right, it is now catching the bottoms of the candles because that's the closest price available near the cursor. Okay, and that's a setting you can change. We will do that when we do a different session. But essentially what a snap to price does is you can just move your your cursor left to right in a sort of zone, and it will automatically pick out the closest high or the low near the cursor and take the line to that. So this allows you without you, so what it does is it allows the user to not have to worry about is it coming to that line or that point specifically, right? All I need to do is just take the cursor somewhere close there, and that's it. I've moved it there, and then okay, this is the same thing, and I'm moving it, and you can see. So I don't have to worry about it being absolutely accurate on the price, both on the starting side and on the ending side. So that is what snap to price does. So it behaves very differently from a trend line. A trend line is almost, we can think about it as a free line. You can draw it in the middle of empty space wherever you want, but and you can start it anywhere, you can end it anywhere. There's no precision, there is nothing where it is being tagged to a particular candle. But when you do snap to price, both the starting point and the ending point are locked in to the closest open or sorry high or low of the candle at the beginning and at the end. So if you want to do something very specific and you want to know what rate of change, for example, if you just hover your mouse over that, then you will say this is a 10 bar thing beginning and ending in that, and there's a 8.5% change between those prices. So here it is from high to high, there's a 8.5% change. So it's nice to know that this, so basically you're saying the stock has fallen by 8.5% in that time frame, right? So very nice, quick, effective way of being able to measure and of being able to be very, very accurate in terms of how much a change has happened and not having to worry about precision, right? So that's what snap to price does. You don't have to have it. You can use it if you want. You can avoid it if you want. Just that the trend line or whatever tool you're using behaves a little differently, and if you don't know what, it can look like it's behaving erratically. It's basically the snap to price in action at that time, right? So great. So that is about the first part of the charting guide. So we have basically just finished this only. There is of course a lot left, and we are just in the first part of the tutorial. So we're going to end this session here to make it a complete one unit recording, and then there will be a separate one for each and every of the other sections, right? Does anyone have any questions or any comments about anything that we have covered here? Let me know.